The consequences of the COVID outbreak are unprecedented and felt around the world.
COVID crisis has impacted so many industries this year as the virus forced businesses across the country to close their doors. Mom and pop shops, as you know.
The world of work is being profoundly affected by the pandemic.
The holiday shopping season looks a lot different this year, with many Canadian stores under lock and key.
Threats to public health affects the long-term livelihoods and well-being of millions.
Been talking all morning about the progress of reopening business and schools, in some cases the lack of. Joining us to break down in real time what the data looks like.
The pandemic is heavily affecting labor markets, economies, and enterprises.
Fewer corporate orders means less money to pay her 30-plus employees.
Right now, how many people are working today?
I think about 6. It's a challenge. I mean, we've had to send people home.
This includes global supply chains leading to widespread business disruptions.
Welcome back. It's not just the major companies watching the coronavirus closely. Small businesses who keep less inventory on hand may be hit even harder. And for those that import from China, which is many of them,
But how do we as HR managers manage the delicate balance of employees' rights and employer prerogatives? Well, we're about to find out.
Oh no! I recently heard the news that Cagayan de Oro City will be under strict quarantine. All people must stay to their respective homes for a month or so. Therefore, there will be little to no customers wandering around the street to buy my products. What should I do? One solution to that would be to issue a temporary closure to our establishment, Mr. Bass. However, as an HR manager, I cannot help but worry for our employees. Should we be undergoing a temporary closure? They should be notified immediately and ask them if they still plan on staying with our company and resume work even after 1 month. If not, they should be given ample separation pay for their troubles. Yes, I see. Let me call one of our loyal employee and ask him to survey the others. Mr. Bernie, come here over for a second. Yes, sir. What can I help to you? Okay, listen. CDO will be under strict quarantine for at least a month. And I talked it over with our HR manager and decided to issue a temporary closure. Can you please ask the others if they agree to this? Also, ask them if they still want to resume work after the temporary closure is done. Yes, sir. No problem.
A few minutes later.
Sir, all of them agreed to the HR and your decision to temporary closure. They are also willing to resume work after 1 month because they said it is more difficult finding another job during the pandemic. I am so glad to hear that. That's good news! Well, now we have to notify the nearest Dole offices and prepare to convince and show them the economic justification for this temporary closure. No problem. That will be easy.
Things are not looking good for my company. Sales are going down, and this pandemic continues to add to the problem. If I can think of something to resolve this issue, I might be homeless for the next month. And what's even worse, our excessive manpower. Due to the decreasing of our sales, some employees are just locking off. Well, because they have nothing to do. And every hour they spend inside my establishment is really painful for my pockets. So what should we do? Ms. Cavillon, a great solution to excessive employees would be issuing a redundancy. This is a ground for dismissal of one or multiple employees in instance, where the service of the employees are in excess of what is reasonably demanded by the actual requirements of an enterprise. This may involve the abolition of all positions for a particular line of service which are no longer required by the business, or the dismissal of one or more employees who are, based on the criteria used, are less efficient than the employees to be retained. That seems to be a reasonable idea. But the problem is, how do we determine which employee to retain into layoff? Well, it's my job, right? As an HR, I keep track of our employees' performance, be it good or bad. This way, we can justify our decisions based on these criteria. Okay, please work on it and determine which employee is performing less efficiently. I'm on it, ma'am.
3 hours later.
Ma'am, this is the employee who is currently performing less efficiently and under the department that is currently not producing great sales. Do you wish to call her? Yes, most certainly. Miss Elvie, can you come here for a second? Yes, Mom, what is it? I know, this is a tough situation for you. But my company is a tough spot as well. You have been a great employee in making milk teas. However, I'm afraid we have to abolish this line of service because it is currently producing less sales as expected. We also noticed that you have been performing poorly inside the establishment. Perhaps it is the reason why our milk teas are failed. I hate to admit it, ma'am, but you're right. The reason why I'm not performing well is because I think this is not my passion. I'm just well experienced in making milk teas. But I really want to have my own business and not just being a mere employee. I have no grudge, ma'am, if you decide to lay me off. Don't worry, we'll provide you with a separation pay worth 1 month of service. Perhaps this will aid you with your current endeavor. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Oh no, what should I do? I am currently broke and I cannot pay for my employees next month. This pandemic continues to be problematic for me. There are only few customers who come by and it's not enough. Mr. Bazar, perhaps it is time to decide for a retrenchment. Retrenchment? What's that? Retrenchment refers to a mass layoff of employees adopted as a measure which is made necessary or compelled by economic factors that would otherwise endanger the stability or existence of the company. Do you really think this will solve the issue? Well, somehow it is better than losing more than what you're supposed to be losing. Well, let's do it then. However, we need to be careful with this. And the company also needs to comply with the notice requirement and the payment of separation pay equivalent to a month pay or 1/2 month pay for every year of service, whichever is higher. Okay, no problem. At least I will be able to cut down losses for the time being. Besides, the company is already losing more than it should. We should issue a notice immediately and tell the employees about the situation. Understood. All of them shall receive their respective separation pay as well.
This is the end of the road. Business is not looking well. I cannot pay for the employees. And if this goes on, I will be bankrupt. I think this is the time to permanently close the business. I am very sorry. I understand your decision, sir. And perhaps it is also for the best of the employees. If they continue to work in our failing company, they might not be able to put food on their tables. It is best to end all of this and inform our employees. Understood. Sadly, because of our situation right now, I'm not able to give them a separation pay. I feel bad for being an employer. And I'm very deeply sorry to all of you. That is okay, sir. When it is proven by you that the closure is due to serious business losses, no separation pay shall be required. Anyways, I think all of our employees can understand. They all have good characteristics and are essential for the company. Yes, all of them were good. Sadly, this pandemic got us really good. Well, thank you so much for being a good HR manager, Mr. Cellona. I hope we meet in the future to come. Yes, most certainly. As for my final task, I will inform all of the employees about our situation, sir. And Thank you.
Many hours later.
Sir, I told them about the issue, and they all understood. They hold no grudge and are ready for closure. That's good to know. And once again, I am very deeply sorry about what has happened to our company. And I wish you all the best, Mr. Cellona, and good luck.